Hello everyone, Reggie Time here, and it's just a very quick, probably 20-25 minute video, and the only reason I'm making it really is to inform you guys that I have cancelled the, deleted the video about the charity donations and cancelled any idea of continuing the collection. Only one person got in touch, sadly, to make what was a very generous donation. I've contacted that person personally via email to let them know that it's been cancelled, and I hope they still make the donation themselves. There's no point me collecting money off one person just to pass on when that one person can make the donation themselves. There's going to be no like big grand gestures there or anything like that. So yeah, that's been cancelled. I'm not going to lie, a little bit disappointed, but it's the time of year, I guess, and the video didn't get across to many people either. So one of those things. But rather than continue bashing my head against what feels like a brick wall, we're just going to let it lie. Just going to drop it and never mind. So just in case anyone thinks, where's that video gone? There's nothing nefarious going on. I just literally got one person that contacted me. I have since contacted them to say we're not doing it any longer. So there we go. That's pretty much that. I'm still going to commit to making my donation of donating 50% of my week's profits so far, which up to now is running at 15 whopping pounds on Sky and around $50 on AAA. I played some 13 hour. I wanted to make this a 13 hour video, but I've logged in and it's not running, so not much we can do about it. If the game's not running, we can't make a video at it. I'm planning on playing quite a bit of 13L this week to try and pay for my car. If you remember the video yesterday, I said we had a problem with the alternator. Well, things kind of escalated quite quickly. It went from him estimating the bill to be around £150 plus labour in the morning to ended up being a £355 bill for various other things. So that's £455 I have had to spend on my car since Saturday. Therefore, I cannot really be dicking around playing the micro stakes, which is basically what I do for the channel. So it's going to be 20 and 13L on Sky when 20 on 13 on Sky is running and running well, and when it isn't, it's going to be hopefully 13L on 888. And we're going to try and start putting some pennies back in the bank rather than making videos that are more aimed at the channel. But for now, we have to play 10L because 13L just isn't running. We are making this at 10 to 1 in the afternoon, and there is 0 people in the lobby there. Why is it taking so long? So it's 9 big blinds. Let's fucking get on with it. I'm going to squeeze the 10s here. I mean, this Let's Create's kind of a bad regular. No idea who Lemony Lime is, but it doesn't have a full stack, so we're going to squeeze and then fold to a 4-bet. Because I don't expect unknown players with less than 100 blinds to be like 4-bet bluffing from under the gun. You get called in 2 places. I'm going to slow down a lot now when this bad regular just donks out this massive. We have a really easy decision. We're just going to fold and see what happens. See the guy folded 2. There's just no way that this Let's Create character is ever doing that with a worse hand than pocket 10s. I know him really well. He's just really I don't wish to be too negative, but he's just like a proper old school bad regular, like proper tag fish. Rarely gets out of line. Usually just like quite weak tight passive. When he starts throwing chips around, he just very often has an incredibly strong hand. When you have such good reads on your opponents, we don't need to be put. He's not in a tough spot when he knocks so big in a 3-bet pot and there's an overcard. But if it was like 5 or 6 high, it would maybe be a little bit harder because maybe he could have a smaller overpair. But when the jack's out there, he just isn't doing that with pocket nines or pocket eights, etc. He's going to have at least a jack and probably sets. And maybe even he's got something like pocket queens. So it's just a trivial fold. Donk betting seems to be becoming more of a thing these days. Maybe I'm missing a trick somewhere. Maybe someone's decided it's a good thing to do and not to been like the coaching it out. I doubt it, because it still seems to be coming mostly from like weaker players that are doing it. But who knows? Maybe I'm missing a trick, or maybe some weaker players are just adjusting to the fact that people aren't maybe c-betting as frequently as they used to, so then they're getting sick of just like checking and not getting a chance to raise or whatever, so they're just leading out. Fuck knows. Maybe just people just are still bad at poker and just like don't mind donking a very imbalanced range of just probably. When I do tend to find people out with them, they seem to have a range of mostly like with the bigger bets, top pair or better, smaller bets. It's usually like just like weak leads trying to find out where they are with second pairs and things. It's hard to say. Still, I don't think people are doing nutted stuff very often. I think they're doing it like with just top pairs and things, which gets them in a lot of trouble when they come up against the overpair. Who knows? Who knows what motivates these people? I know some of the guys that come to me that have like a donking strategy. It's almost exclusively when they've got a good flop for their hand, but it's vulnerable and they are worried about it checking through and overcards and things hitting. It's not a good reason for doing it, but it's their reason for doing it. The problem with that is then they're just getting put in some really weird spots when they get raised. It's particularly when they get raised on boards that have got some potential draws on them. So advice is usually don't do it. The only time you catch me donking is in multi-way pots with a nutted hand, when it's likely to either check through or I'm just likely to get a lot of action. Otherwise, I don't donk. And yes, I fully accept that is a ridiculously exploitable strategy. But in multi-way pots, I'm not that worried. I'm just hoping to catch somebody either with a strong draw or a strong but weaker made hand. And I'm not worried about people making some big folds against me, because I'm just never worried about people making big folds in the micro stakes. I don't really think it should be a huge concern. If people have pretty decent made hands, they're not that inclined to fold them most of the time. But the reason why we don't do it all the time, particularly in heads up pots, is because you want to give your opponent a chance to bluff, and that's when you may well actually become pretty exploitable, and it does hurt your checking range in heads up pots. But multi-way, totally different kettle of fish, and I think it's something we can all comfortably do without worrying too much. Extended radio silence here, not much going on. People taking their own sweet time constantly. What is this dude doing? Probably disconnected. Nope, just taking forever to raise. We get limp, massive re-raise. This is very amusing. Super easy fold. What the fuck size? No, let's just take a moment to appreciate the limp raise sizing here. The limp raise committing more than 50% of your stack. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to bet 3 streets here with this pocket 6s against this dude who's checked that flop. I'm going to have to bet 3 streets, which is going to bet the 1, which does me just fine. That was a beautiful limp re-raise. I don't mind having a limp raise strategy sometimes if you've got some aggressive players behind you, but I wouldn't recommend doing it for more than 50% of your stack. I think you're going to be giving the game away there and not really allowing your opponents to make any big mistakes against you. 5.5 open from the button. Again, beautiful. We're seeing some interesting sizing decisions today. We already beat bluffs here, but he can have plenty of them, so we'll call. And he has a full house, good for him. He probably should just continue betting the turn there. Here we have another lead out. A half pot. If he had more chips, I would consider raising here with 2 overcards, but he doesn't, so we'll let it go. I'm actually going to check raise now with this, like raising his min bet again. I don't think our hand's good, but he doesn't necessarily have to be strong, and if we do get called, we can suck out a decent amount. That isn't a card we can suck out on, and we're not going to try and bluff, given he's called on this board texture, and we block the most likely draw, which is spades. We're just going to give up now. Wow. I like that. I think that's quite amusing. It was worth losing whatever we lost, $1.10 or something, for the amusement. That was fun. Still amusing me. Overlink the button, min bet, and just call the turn check raise, and then did he check back the river? Can't remember. Did he really check back the river? Yes, he did. Fucking beautiful. Absolutely tremendous. It's really hard to lose in games where people are so utterly abysmal at getting value for the hands. I'm not sure. It feels like Triple Eight have either lost a lot of the regulars that they had, or they've done a really good job of weeding out the people who were talked about earlier in the year who were cheating, it's kind of making me tempted to give them another shot. We're going to re-raise this bad rig here with his min open. Yep. Not going to go into too many reasons why we did that, but I'm sure anyone can figure it out with just minimal thought. I was playing 30-0 like last night, and there was just like one regular in the pool. There wasn't many players. It feels like they've rooted out some of the guys who might have been doing a few naughty things. We'll see. I could be wrong. If that's the case, and they've rooted out a lot of the Eastern European guys who were cheating, then all of a sudden, potentially there's some good games to be had. I guess we're just going to 3-bet here and then that'd be priced in to call it off if he jams. I don't like it, but and then he just calls and it comes down 4-3-3, and now we're in a weird spot. Obviously we can't check call it off, that'd be horrific. Don't want to check fold, so I guess we just do the last remaining option by process of elimination. Check fold seems really bad, check call seems worse, so I guess just betting and hoping he folds. And we get snapped off by ace-9. Happy days. What is going on here? There are tons and tons and tons of bad players in these pools. It's if you are currently playing speed poker 10-0, 5-0 on a different site, I would at the moment strongly recommend you consider strongly consider moving your play to this site, because if they have got rid of the accounts that were kind of spoiling the games, then and all that's left behind is like lots and lots of like not full stacked fish, then I think there's going to be a lot of decent opportunities to be had. We're giving up this river when we get called twice and it just like bricks off like this. I mean, I'll have to wait and see. I'll discuss it further on Monday when we do the blog update, but if over the next few days, from like, this is Wednesday now, if from Thursday through Sunday, I still get the feeling that there's like a lot of the rogue accounts have been like kind of dealt with, banned or what have you, then all of a sudden Triple Eight becomes potentially a very profitable place to place, because the traffic seems quite low, which usually means there's not a lot of reg activity. And in games where there's not a lot of reg activity, but you can get like reasonable volume in, then it presents pretty profitable opportunities for us. Really wanted to see a green one on the end there, never mind. Not a great flop for the ace queen, but we do have some backdoor equity, so we'll start with the c-bet and then proceed with caution if we get called. Get raised. I never like this, like the raising the 3-bet pots. I think it's just so hard to be like balanced here. If you're doing it with just like a weak top pair, then you're putting shit spots if you get re-raised. If you flopped like a If you flopped a set or something, yeah, you're going to get value from the top of someone's range, but make them fold like we are now with all that bluffs. I'm just not convinced by it. I don't think raising flops in 3-bet pots. I think if you want to raise or use flop a strong hand, you start slow playing a little bit. We're obviously going to go all in with our jacks here. And we get the win. That was a nice donation from the count there. Yeah, I mean, just a good chance that he's probably just flopped a jack there, or maybe he's slow playing an overpair. Who knows what? I'm just not convinced we really need a raise strategy in position in 3-bet pots. I think we just have like a call or fold strategy for the most part. Yeah, I mean, again, I could be out of date with my thinking there, but I mean, it's a 3-bet pot. Usually 3-bet pots, you don't have to raise post up to get the money, and you can just have a call show strategy, or if you're the 3-better, you can just have a bet show strategy. You don't need to put the extra raise in anywhere, because just the way the mechanics of it's going to go, it's just, if you bet like half pot shove, you're going to be left with like less than a half pot bet for the river. So yeah, I'm not convinced we need to raise in 3-bet pots. Double barrel here because we pick up the equity, and then we're going to give up on the river. It's going to be like against a regular again. This would be quite exploitable, that we like double barrel and giving up. But this guy clearly isn't a regular. He's not going to be exploiting us, so we could just be playing a very exploitable strategy. We can double barrel a ton with our equity, and just give up when we miss. It's absolutely fine to have like exploitable strategies versus fish, and try to be somewhat, I'm not going to use GTO, but try to be at least protect your ranges better against regulars. I don't really look to protect my ranges against fish. I just do whatever I think's going to be okay in a vacuum. Against regulars, I try and consider my whole range more. I'm going to wind the video up in a couple of minutes. Again, this wasn't really meant to be a strategy video. I just wanted to get the message out that the collection for the Make-A-Wish Foundation was disappointingly cancelled. Is this Dracula again? No, I might have been tempted to call it if it was Dracula. Yeah, I just want to get the message out that the collection for the Make-A-Wish Foundation has been cancelled. The one pledge that I received so far, the guy hadn't sent the money, which is fine, and now he can send it himself. So I haven't collected any money, so there's nothing to hand on. And hopefully now I've deleted the video, so I won't receive any money going forward. If I do, if someone randomly sends me something with the intention of sending it to them, of course I will pass it on. But I'm not expecting anything. And then I just thought I'd follow it up with a little bit of live play, otherwise it would have been the world's shortest video. But yeah, let's just play around to our blinds and then call it a day. Giving up on this board texture. Not a good board to try and see, but you just don't get much respect from anything when people usually don't have something on this board. But it's hard to have nothing on this board as the caller. I mean, yeah, you can just have like Jack, Queen, King, Queen, that type of thing. But even then, they might just randomly float one off. Who knows? If I have an underpair on a board like that, I'm usually just giving it up. 3-bet shitty suited connectors. So this is somebody 3-bets too much. Bet once here we have backdoor clubs, backdoor straight draw, and potential king is allowed. Turn 6. which gives me reason to now not need to bluff anymore. And that's what I mean by people just randomly floating. Which is why I tend not to see, but like the underpairs and things, because people will just turn up with random floats. Whatever, it is what it is. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Look, there's that much gone on in it, but I got the main message across, and we'll see you guys on Monday with the vlog update. Bye bye for now.